Hockey friends and families, Our Kids Play Hockey has been nominated for the 2025 Hockey Podcast of the Year via the Sports Podcast Awards, and we need your help to win this competition. All you got to do is head over to ourkidsplayhockey.com, look for the banner that says click here to vote for us, and once you dive into that, it's real simple. You enter your name, your email. It's a super honest competition. You will not be spammed. You find Our Kids Play Hockey on the list, click it, vote, and you're done. We really appreciate your support with this. Winning this award, which we've done in back-to-back years now, we are going for that hat trick, allows us to have better guests, has better conversations with hockey organizations, and really spread our youth hockey message that we do together as coaches, parents, and players. Thank you so much. Again, head over to ourkidsplayhockey.com, look for the banner that says click here to vote, and help us win together the 2025 Hockey Podcast of the Year. So pause right here, take care of that real quick, and then dive right back into this week's episode. Thank you. Hello, hockey skaters and goalies around the world. Welcome back to another edition of The Ride to the Rink. We got three parents with you today. Don't worry, we're not going to parent you. Christie Casciano-Burns, Mike Bonelli, and MJ Elias. Maybe we'll parent you a little bit. It's January 2nd when you're listening to this. I don't usually date rides to the rink, but if you're listening to this today, you just got off winter break, and it was a long winter break for most people this year. The way Christmas and Hanukkah and the New Year's kind of landed, you might have had about 14 days off of school. Like that's a lot. Usually it's usually a week, maybe a day or two after that, but a 14-day winter break is a long one. And we need to do an episode for you today. Well, maybe you are riding to the rink right now, about kind of just resetting after 14 days. And here's the funny thing, Mike, Christie, they might have played in 100 tournaments over that time period.
Sure.
They might have done absolutely nothing over that time period. It's interesting, right? You're coming back from a break. You got to get back in school. I think that's going to be the big kind of topic of this today, is that the routine has to reset. And that can be really hard. It can actually be can be really hard on your parents. I know they might seem like they want to get you back to school as fast as possible, but you got to reset. Everyone's resetting right now, right?
That's
so
right.
Let's talk about it, Christie.
Yeah, and you're right. It's been a long time since kids have had this much time off for a winter break, 2 solid weeks.
Yeah.
So now everything is messed up again. A lot of fun, playing with your new toys and, and eating different kinds of foods. And maybe you're all sugared up from all the treats that you had, all those Christmas cookies that maybe Santa didn't finish. So now you're going to get back to your routine. What my kids always did, and I think it's very helpful, is they had a notebook and they would use it to actually time out their day. So let's say Sophia had a routine of working out, 8 a.m., workout, 9 a.m., study, 10 o'clock, this, that. So she would write down everything that was expected for the day, and she would refer to that notebook all day long, so she would stay on time and not miss any part of her routine. Very helpful. So I would suggest, if you have struggles getting organized, put your day on paper, map it out, time it out, and stick to it. It's going to help you get back into that routine.
It's never been easier to do it either with digital devices now, whether it's a phone or something else. But just take it. Lists in general, Christie, I find to be very valuable for kids. Like for those of you listening out there, look, when we interview pro athletes, kids, almost all of them, I have a routine. I have a routine that I follow every day. I'm really strict on my routine. I built the discipline up on my routine. You can start doing that now.
Sure.
Right? No matter when you're listening to this episode, right? Just build a routine for yourself. And it's okay if the routine changes every once in a while, right? You just got to find what works for you. Mike, I saw the thought enter your mind and I started talking, but I want to go back to you here.
No, because this is the perfect time of year. Your mom and dad are probably doing their own new routines. Everybody's resetting. You got your new year, resolutions. And so take advantage of that. Your coach might have a New Year resolution, and maybe your team's had a New Year's resolution. Like we're gonna try to get to the rink 20 minutes earlier, every practice and do something different. So you can go with the flow of what other people are thinking about and trying to do anyway, and take advantage of that opportunity. Like Christie said, lists are great. I'm not, I always discourage the screen time and using the phone. But if you're going to use the phone, use it for good
proactively,
and use those lists and learn if it depends on how old you are. But if you're 11, 12, 13 years old, make sure you ask your parents how do you get attached to the calendar, for the team, the school, extracurricular activities, and put that all on your calendar. And you can look on one day and be like, oh, I have this test on Wednesday. I know I have practice on Monday and Tuesday. How can I help myself in all of the ways so that my mom's not telling me I can't go to practice? My dad's telling me, I got to stay up late and do my homework.
Right.
Like there's all kinds of things you do depending on how old you are. If you're listening to this show by yourself, then you're probably old enough to, you're probably doing some, some work by yourself to get better. So use the advantage of the technology that's given to you. And all of us putting all these things on calendars and putting them out there, and you use it for your advantage and just become, end this year on 2-3 months left of, kind of resetting and reorganizing how you want to approach, your athletic success.
Great advice.
Solid advice. Always from Mike. Mike, you always come through. And I'll tell those of you listening, our ride to the rink next week is actually going to be about finishing the season, right? Looking ahead towards the end of season. But my advice to you kids right now, when you're listening to this, 2 parts, right? One is gratitude. Make sure you reflect on the past year, right? We're in a new year. You're a year older than you were last year at this point. You're in a different position. Take a look at the things you did over the last year and find some things to be thankful for, right? Sometimes the things you're thankful for are actually the lessons that didn't feel great at the time, but you learned something, right? And sometimes it's, I had a great coach, I had a great season, I had great friends, whatever. The next big thing, kids, at this time of year, take a moment. And when I mean a moment, a few minutes, and just do a mental audit of where you're at. The amount of kids your age, whatever age you're at, believe me, 18 down to 8, that come to me this time of year and they're mentally exhausted. Whether you've just had 2 weeks off or you've had 2 weeks on, the hockey season is insanely long, kids. It's insanely long. If you play other sports, you know what I'm talking about. It's basically an 8-month season. Take a moment and do a mental audit. And by the way, I should say this. What audit means is like just review in your mind where you're at. Are you feeling great? Are you feeling burnt out? Are you ready for the next few months? Do you need to talk to someone? Like there's a lot of different places you could go from here, but take the time to do it. If you need to talk to someone, talk to your parents, talk to your coaches. You can even talk to us. You can send us a text or an email if you want to talk to us. But just take a moment and figure out, all right, am I okay? Am I doing well? That audit, again, that review is very important. It's important for your self-esteem. It's important for your mental well-being. You're starting a new year in terms of the actual year. You're diving back into the game now, into your seasons. We talked about resetting. Review. Make sure that your mindset is where you want it to be. If you're not, talk to someone. And if you're feeling great, that's awesome. That's awesome. Make sure you're being a great teammate. Make sure you're thankful for everything you got. Make sure you tell your coaches thank you. No matter where you are on any of those lists, on any of those ideas, we're always wishing you the best. We want you to enjoy the game. If the game's not fun, someone's doing something wrong. All right? It's got to be fun. Right? What was that, Christie? Sorry.
That's absolutely 100% right.
Yeah.
Don't forget, it's got to be fun. If it's not fun, something's wrong.
Yeah. And that's true 365 days of the year. It doesn't matter what episode we're recording. If it's not fun, right? And I mean, you want to do it, rethink it, right? You do not have to play hockey. The other thing, too, is you are not just a hockey player. You are so much more than just a hockey player, all right? And you can love the game intensely. You're still more than a hockey player.
That's right.
So welcome to 2025, my friends. Yeah, good to have you here. Again, we'll be here all year with the ride to the rink for you guys and kids in the car. If you want to text us, if you want to email us, old school, team@ourkidsplayhockey.com. You can email us or ask your parents to email us at any time. If you like to text, if you're on a phone, in the show notes accompanying this episode, there's a link. If you tap on that link, you can text us. It goes directly to us. We will see it. We can talk about it on the air. If you don't want us to say your name on the air, we won't say your name on the air. But it's important that you have a voice as the kids playing this game as well. We want you to have a voice in this game. It's important that we hear from you. That's going to do it for this ride to the rink. Well, welcome again, 2025, Christie Casciano-Burns, Mike Bonelli. I'm MJ Elias. We will see you next week. Remember, we believe in you. You should too. Skate on, my friends.